If you run a company or manage a team, hiring qualified people quickly can make or break your business. Imagine a position of need going unfilled for weeks or even months because you just can't seem to find the right candidate. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed sponsored jobs help you stand out and hire fast. With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. This makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, there's no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts. You only pay for results on your job post. Just in the last minute that I've been talking to you, 23 hires were made on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Now that is fast. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. Listeners will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/BWN. Go to Indeed.com/BWN right now to support this podcast. Indeed.com/BWN. Terms and conditions apply.
This new year, why not let Audible expand your life by listening? Explore over 1 million audiobooks, podcasts, and exclusive Audible originals that'll inspire and motivate you. Tap into your well-being with advice and insight from leading professionals and experts on better health, relationships, career, finance, investing, and more. Maybe you want to kick a bad habit or start a good one. If you're interested in learning how to master your emotions and hearing scientifically backed advice for using your emotions as a tool, may I suggest Shift by psychologist and bestseller author Dr. Ethan Kross? Trust me, listening on Audible can help you reach the goals you set for yourself. Start listening today when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Okay, so the city in Pennsylvania, is it one city?
It is.
And it's spelled WIKLES-BARRE.
It is not spelled that way.
Oh, then that's why I have it wrong then. How you spell it?
It is WILKES.
That's what I said.
Hyphen. Yeah, you definitely said LK or
okay.
KL. You did it backwards.
Okay, I have dyslexia, and you're making fun of my learning disability. Now,
I'm sorry.
Now who's hurt? Thank you.
If it makes you feel better, I also do this to obnoxiously Pitt boyfriend who also has dyslexia. I am an awful person.
So is it Wilkes-Barre?
It is not.
Is it Wilkes-Barre?
It is not.
Is Wilkes correct?
Yes.
Wilkes-Barre.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's awful.
Pennsylvania.
Isn't there a name of a disease named after that area?
You are thinking about Epstein-Barr disease, I think, which is not named.
Or Guillain-Barré, actually.
Or Guillain-Barré, also not named after northeastern Pennsylvania's second largest city.
What's the largest city?
Scranton?
Scranton, okay.
And so it is sort of confusing when you ask if it's a single city, because Wilkes-Barre is a single city, but it is generally lumped in with Scranton as the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Metro.
Okay, that makes total sense then.
Yeah.
Now I feel better about Wilkes-Barre. That's just...
You're welcome.
I hate you.
Do you?
Depends on the day. Welcome, everyone, to the SICKOS... Welcome, everyone, to the SICKOS Committee Podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of March 2nd, 2025. It's time for us to get together, like we usually do on Sundays.
It's time to get together. It's time to light the lights. It's time to get things started on SICKOS Pod tonight.
That's really good, actually.
Thank you.
It scans, even better. As always, I am Jordan, and with me tonight, I have Pitt Girl, special guest Big Sky Brigit, and Commish. Arthur will be here soon. Pitt Girl, how are you?
I am good. As I was telling you before the show started, I had friends in from out of town, and we went and saw minor league hockey. Go Bears! Even though I have complicated feelings about the Bears, as a Pens fan living in central Pennsylvania, knowing that the Bears are the Caps farm team,
Wait,
it's fine.
they're the Wilkes-Barre Bears?
No, the Hershey Bears are here.
Hershey
The
Bears.
Scranton Pens are the Caps are the Pens farm team,
Okay.
but the Bears are the Caps farm team.
Okay.
I grew up a Bears fan, but back then they were the Avs farm team, and so it didn't really matter.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you what like my home ice hockey team was called? Probably have.
No.
It was the Killer Bees. Because where they were in Hidalgo, Texas was the place where the first killer bees infestation was in the United States.
They're still coming, right?
The bees?
Yeah, I mean, they said they were coming. I don't know when they're going to get here, but they kept letting us know that they're coming. Are they going to get here eventually?
The Bees got a flat tire
I
and
don't-
had to pull over.
Mhm. Bridget, how are you?
I'm good. I will probably be muted for part of this or all of this because the flu is making its way through my house.
Oh no!
And
no.
we're at the coughing all the time stage, and no
Oh,
amount of
no.
cough drops or Dayquil will make it sound better. So I'm here. Reader,
Oh no!
prayers up for me so I don't sound more obnoxious than I already do. We'll get some real Tony Braxton hours out of my voice.
I like this. Yes.
Okay.
It's just wait till people start complaining about vocal fry.
Oh,
I'm sure they already do. I annoy myself, reader. You're not gonna be more annoyed with me than I already am with myself.
That also, reader, if you show up in our mentions complaining about anyone's vocal fry, I will block you. This is a promise, not a threat.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we don't get more complaints about my voice. Because I know how I sound, and every time I have to listen to one of our recordings, I get like third-hand embarrassment from the way I sound. It's hard to describe how much I hate my voice.
Right. And the more you listen to yourself, the more you're like, is that really what I sound like? And then you start to pick up on it more and more. You're like, that's really what I sound like, huh? People just have to listen to this all the time, don't they? Okay.
I have accepted in my heart that I sound like this, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, I sound like what I sound like. Especially this time of year, I sound like Tony Braxton. I think it's cool. We need to bring some respect back for Tony Braxton.
Do you know who has a great voice for this medium? Commish, how are you, sir?
Thank you. Yeah, I have a great voice for this medium. Get
A
out
voice
of
for
here.
podcasts and
Nobody-
a face for podcasts.
Nobody. Seriously, if I get too far in the podcast, it's just one word altogether, and it's supposed to be a sentence. So yeah.
I
struggle
love
with-
you and me. Whenever I have to edit you, especially on the pods for the Patreon, when you're by
Yeah.
yourself, the
Oh, God.
longer you go, the harder it is to edit any single word out of things
Yes,
because there's no space in the sound
There's-
wave. I
it's-
wish I
it's
could
just-
show it to you.
I sound like the defensive coordinator from the Waterboy. So
Yeah, you do.
if I get going,
it's a delight.
and especially if I've had a lot to drink, I basically sound just like that. Like you have no idea what I'm saying. Just smile and laugh, and you'll be okay.
You also have ill folks in your house as well.
Yes, I had the 2-year-old was down with double ear infection,
Ooh,
which was not fun. But she decided to make it a double feature for me, where we've watched Frozen 1 and Frozen 2, a total of I think 3 movies. I've seen Frozen 3 times, and then Frozen 2 3 times. It could be 4 of each. I don't know.
do you want to
but-
build a snowman?
I mean, I just she just starts singing it.
I think maybe you should just give her some more hot Funyuns.
I want to give her a shout out for that. So my wife's a big fan of like spicy chips. Like she loves them.
like
So
Takis,
she's like
things like that.
she likes the Takis. She likes the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. She likes the flaming hot Funyuns, and my 2-year-old's in a stage where whatever mama eats, I want to eat that too. So my wife stepped away to go get a drink or like refill her water, and the 2-year-old's like right there, and the bag of flaming hot Funyuns is really close to the. And so what, the 2-year-old reaches in the bag, grabs a relatively small Funyun, I would say, like not like the smaller size circle
Yeah, yeah.
Funyun, and just eats it. And then she goes, hot.
Yes.
And then she grabs some water, and then she drinks some water, and then she goes, more? Like just reaching out for more, because my wife had returned. Like we're all in like disbelief, like, oh my God, this is, what are we gonna do? And she was just like, nah, more.
Congrats.
And I was like, all right, like
you were
yes,
raising a South Texas
yes,
girl, my
all
friend.
right, because I was about to do crawfish boil in the next couple of weeks here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't know if she could handle the spice. Now I have confidence she can handle the spice, which is great. Also, I want to give a shout out to everybody listening to this when the podcast comes out. Happy Mardi Gras, everybody.
Woohoo!
I hope you're on the parade route of Zulu and Rex and all the truck parades that come on Fat Tuesday. I hope you're like on St. Charles Avenue, like cracking open a beer at like 7 a.m. or I don't know, maybe not even going to bed on Mardi Gras. And I hope you're having a good time at Mardi Gras. Enjoy. Today's like this Sunday is always my favorite of the Mardi Gras parade days, because it is the day that you have like 4 parades that just go all day long. Like they start at like 10 a.m. Then there's another one, and then there's like a little gap to let you eat lunch, and then there's like the one that's like that in betweener, and then there's the night parade. Basically, you have 4 in a day, so it normally goes Okeanis, Toth, Mid City, and Bacchus. Which Toth is probably my favorite one because it's underrated. It gets like overshadowed by the super crews of like Bacchus and Endymion, like Orpheus, Rex, and Zulu, all those big name parades.
This sounds like you're reading me a code to turn me into a sleeper agent.
Totally. Come on, let's go. You want a king cake? I'll send you one.
I mean,
If you go to New Orleans, you gotta go see the Mardi Gras.
I saw a king cake at HEB. Did not get it though.
Don't do it. Don't do that.
I don't trust an HEB king cake. Okay.
God, no. Don't do that. I had one in desperation last year, and I was like, never again. Just never again.
Jordan, you know what else I can tell you not to trust, assuming that they even exist? HEB Fashnuts.
They don't do Fashnuts.
Yeah. Even if they did, don't trust them.
Don't trust them.
They got to come from scenic central Pennsylvania. It's important. Similarly, Pashki have to come from somewhere where there's a substantial Polish population, preferably Western Pennsylvania. Don't at me.
So I will argue this, Pitt Girl. When you come down here, and we will eventually do a trip, especially around where Commish lives.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
Up to where I am at. There we have these like pockets of weirdness. Like there's that Czech city. There's still a town in South Texas that does Polish mass.
Okay.
Like
I would be interested in sampling their pierogies.
As a kid, we only had one Orthodox church in town, so the Russians and Greeks had to be in the same church, which led to one of the best food festivals.
Yes.
Because you get both.
Yes.
And that was abso-fucking-lutely fire. The first time I ever had baklava was there. And
I'm thinking about, okay, so we all know that the Greek Orthodox Church Food Festival has the best fucking food.
Yes.
We can all agree upon
consistently.
This?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So imagining this, but also, look, we have pierogi.
Mm-hmm.
We got halushki for you. Enjoy.
Well, I'm also thinking of the Russian dumplings with like a side of souvlaki.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely something that I took for granted as a kid, because once you get into Dallas, everyone has their own little like awesome thing, and you can drive around, you can find them all. But having all that in one spot was a real nice one. Let's start with a coin flip. Ba-da-ding! I am currently
Da-ding!
traveling. I do not have my soundboard with me, so there is no coin flip sound.
Coin flip, coin flip, coin flip, coin flip.
We had to get to a point today where for the SEC women's tournament seeding,
Yes.
Texas and South Carolina needed a coin flip because there are only 3 tiebreakers for seeding. The first one is head-to-head, which Texas and South Carolina split, and then it's record against the next team down, except that both Texas and South Carolina were undefeated in SEC play, except for one game they lost to each other. So we go down to the third thing, which is a coin flip.
Yeah.
And they built this thing up. Greg Sankey did the fucking coin flip.
Oh, I didn't know Greg Sankey did anything besides go to meetings.
Dude, there was a coin flip
so
countdown.
Oh God!
Like the coin flip countdown.
They let him go outside. I didn't know he was allowed.
No.
To do that.
He was inside at SEC headquarters. They did not let him wander free. You know that.
Oh, I mean, but like that's basically outside. That's like concerningly.
It's
close to
outside of his usual cordon.
Yeah.
I'm going to, spoiler alert, tell you how these toss ended up first. South Carolina will be the 1 seed. Texas will be the 2 seed. Even though Texas is, I believe, is ranked number 1 currently. To get to this point, both teams had to win today. And Texas handily took their opponent down. South Carolina did too, except they had to play Kentucky, who is ranked. So it was a little less of a for sure thing, but it did happen. And they'd already announced that they were going to do it at halftime at the Ole Miss women's basketball game. It was Ole Miss LSU, I think. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was the Ole Miss game. And so they cut in and they do a little chat. It was Alyssa Lang does a little chat. Alyssa Lang, who also retweeted my blurry ass like photograph of my television. He's at ESPN. You can do this yourself. Like you have better options than I do, guys, for graphics.
You have a guy for this who's like a professional guy for this, and not just us fucking around with Photoshop.
This isn't in Photoshop. It's literally a picture of. This is literally a picture of my television.
Yeah, this feels spiritually like in line with having to go down to the coin flip.
Mm-hmm. Well, Commish, this is something that I know that we don't like to do, but I felt like I had to break this news because everyone was waiting for it, so I had to get my picture out there first.
Of course. No, I mean, this is what we got to do. We are, when it comes to something this silly, like we got to be there. Like this is us.
This is what we were made for.
This is what we are made for. This is our purpose as a committee. If there's something ridiculously trivial, absolutely silly to determine something that's relatively serious, I would say, because I mean, maybe the 1 or 2 seeds got a better path in attorney. I would think you would want that, right? The 1 seed. And when something like this happens, we're going to be there. That's the SICKOS committee promise. We are there for stuff like this. We were talking about the coin. It was like, is it going to be equally weighted on both sides? Honestly,
I was worried about this.
Honestly, I was kind of confused because when Sankey did the coin flip, like he then caught it and then flipped it over. I'm like, was he going to just drop it on the floor? I mean,
but that's what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, the best way to do is either let it drop on the floor, or I've seen it so people like have a bowl and you flip the coin into a bowl and let it settle. Because by putting it in your hand and then flipping it, you are not quite in a Schrodinger's way, but you are altering the outcome because you are affecting it with your own anything. I have lots of problems with this coin flip.
Are you just saying that because Texas lost the coin flip and the coin wound up being horns down?
It was horns up first before it was horns down. That's what I'm saying. He caught it horns up. I know. It's fine.
I mean, Sankey, to horns down. We got to do it.
Horns down.
Even the coin flip said horns down.
Is this the most famous coin flip you can think of?
No.
What's the most famous coin flip you can think of?
Well, I'm old though, but the one where Phil Luckett like messed up the one with Jerome Bettis in overtime.
That's the one that came to mind. Yep.
Yeah, where he's like, I said tails, or I can't remember what Bettis said, but like whatever he said, the ref heard the other thing, and then they wound up losing the. It was. I still remember the referee, Phil Luckett. Like you can type in Phil Luckett, and then look, there's the Instagram reel of Phil Luckett. It was on Thanksgiving. There it is.
Yeah. I am
throwback.
searching this now because I do not remember it. And that is because it was, wait, hang on. It was in 1998. So I was about to make a tell me about the war grandpa joke, and I'm really not even that far off.
Yeah, it was 98. It's the only game on. There's really no other networks. It's Phil Luckett. It's the Steelers versus the Lions going to overtime. I mean, basically, 98. This is like something that you would just, if you saw it, you'd never forget it.
Oh, this is incredible.
Yeah.
I am reading the Wikipedia page for Phil Luckett. First paragraph is general, he did this, he retired in this year, whatever, right? Second paragraph is one line. Much of his tenure was surrounded by controversial calls, most notably, new paragraph. During an overtime coin toss in a November 1998 game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Detroit Lions, the coin landed on tails and Luckett awarded the toss to the Lions. Steelers captain Jerome Bettis said he had called tails, but Luckett insisted that Bettis had called heads tails. According to NFL rules, a team's first call is the one the referees will use, and Luckett noted in his game report to the NFL that Bettis was attempting to deceive. The Lions scored a field goal on their first possession of overtime to win the game. The game tape was later enhanced, and Bettis is clearly heard saying, "Ha, tails." A sideline microphone enhancement also clearly had Bettis telling Coach Bill Howard that Bettis had said, "Ha, tails."
That's like when you make the fake TF thing on your true false tests.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say the most famous coin flip I know is the 1988 Midland Odessa coin flip. This was back when Midland High, Midland Lee, and Odessa Permian were the biggest schools in Texas for football. And back then, only 2 schools could leave your district to go to the playoffs. And all 3 had a tied record. And they all drove to a truck stop at basically between Midland and Odessa and flipped a coin onto the floor there to see who was going to go. I forget how it ended up being, but it's one of those very famous. Any of these teams probably could have won state that year, but only 2 could go to the playoffs. It was very crushing. They expanded the playoffs shortly afterwards for that very reason.
Mine is the 2003 NFC wildcard game, which, if you remember, is Packers versus Seahawks, where Matt Hasselbeck utters the famous phrase, "We want the ball and we're going to score."
We're gonna win. Yes, and then he immediately throws a pick six.
Yep.
Don't call your shot. Don't do it.
No, call your shot, because call
your shot if you right.
I mean, call it if they won the game.
Right, it's go legendary. Big or go home. Exactly.
It's legendary. If they lose the game, it's hilarious. Like, just go for it. Go big or go home.
Can you believe we have some coaching carousel news in March?
Man.
I mean, yes, but also why?
Oh, this sucks.
So Scott Loeffler, who is head coach at Bowling Green, has gotten Bowling Green to, I believe, 3 bowls in a row.
Lost all 3, but still.
No one fucking asked you.
Well, I'm just saying.
That is pretty good in Bowling Green adjusted terms.
No, Bowling Green fans were at a point when they made the Quick Lane Bowl in 2022. Some Bowling Green fans were kind of like, okay, I'm done with this guy. But then it's just kind of like a point of contention. Like, okay, he gets us to a bowl game at like 6-6, 7-5, but then he can't win the bowl game. So I don't know. But think about the history of Bowling Green. You had Urban Meyer going like over 10 wins. You had Dino Babers over 10 wins.
Yeah.
That's true.
You had, so like there's some, and then like their hated rival is Toledo, and Toledo's been good.
That's true.
Not necessarily last year. So it's kind of like, the timing sucks. I know they hate that.
So, Commish, where's Scott Loeffler going?
He's going to Philadelphia to be the QB coach because Scott Leffler was
not for Temple though, for the Eagles.
For the
so
Eagles.
We're clear here.
That's right. I don't think he would leave Bowling Green for the Temple QB coach.
That might be a step down. That might be a step down.
Yeah. No, a head coach to QB coach. Can't do
and this is not an instance where Temple would be paying you more.
No.
Yeah. No.
No, he's going to the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles to be the quarterback's coach, which, I mean...
Sure?
The Jalen Hurts whisperer?
Again, he was near Tom Brady at one point in time in his career.
God damn it.
Tom Brady breathed on him.
Tom Brady breathed on Scott Leffler.
No one says that about Gronk. There's no offensive line coaches being like, oh yeah, Gronk licked me once. I have the knowledge.
Can you imagine what Gronk breathing on you smells like?
Who was Gronk's coach at Arizona?
I don't know.
I know it smelled crazy in there.
Okay, I want to know who Gronk's coach was in Arizona.
Very like Pigpen vibes, just all around him, all the time.
Yep.
Arizona.
There's a cloud.
Arizona 2007, 2009. So
like wet dog. Like he ate a wet dog.
2009 Arizona Cardinals football team. Head coach, Mike Stoops.
Jesus.
His offensive coordinator was Sonny Dykes.
Oh, that... Man, I forgot about that group.
And the D coordinator was Mark Stoops.
Oh, God, there was so much Stoops in there.
Yeah, so
I know it smelled crazy in there, too.
Jesus Christ.
Double Stoops with a dash of Sonny Dykes for Gronkowski's career at Arizona.
God. That makes a lot of sense all of a sudden. Okay. This tracks.
That's crazy because Mike Stoops was the head coach of Arizona. And then his brother Mark Stoops was the D coordinator. But now Mark Stoops is the head coach at Kentucky and his brother.
What is Mike doing?
No, his brother Mike Stoops is the linebacker coach underneath his brother Mark at Kentucky.
Ooh, that's gonna man. Christmas is just an unpleasant time.
Stoops, I did it again.
I argue that we're going to see more and more of this because, especially in the MAC, minus Lance Leipold recently, and Kansas pulled him out of Buffalo because Kansas was desperate. But we no longer see this mobility from MAC head coach to hire G5 head coach.
We don't. I do kind of think that there's going to end up being a swing on that.
What do you mean?
So there are things that become trendy in coaching hires and things that are not trendy in coaching hires. And I think eventually we're going to see it wrap back around and people will start hiring MAC coaches again.
Just like how maybe we'll see FCS coaches get hired once again and not just for weird coordinator jobs. Yeah.
I mean, you kind of hope so. But I mean, the difference in the money compared to a MAC head coach to a P4 coordinator now, that's why Buffalo's head coach Maurice Linguist left. That's why South Alabama's head coach left to go to Bama to be a coordinator. And again, what Kent State's coach did, Sean Lewis, had to go be the coordinator for Colorado, and now he's a head coach at San Diego State. So you kind of had to take. You got to take a coordinator semester abroad, so to speak. Now,
and that's what this feels like. This feels like his semester abroad, where he goes and he gets his puka shell necklace and gets cornrows, and he comes back.
Philly?
Do not do either of those things in Philadelphia.
Please don't.
Whatever the Philly equivalent of puka shell necklace and cornrows is.
A bird's hoodie and a weird haircut.
Yeah.
So Scott Leffler was in the NFL previously in 2008 for the Detroit Lions.
No, he's done this before. This is more of me opining about that MAC head coach to high G5 or P5 head coach pipeline is just shut down because where's Jason Candle going? A name that should come up every cycle.
Jason Candle is a like specific weird case. I mean, although I will say that the last instance I can think of off the top of my head of a MAC coach getting hired by like a high G5 P5 team is Matt Campbell going to Iowa State, and that was a long time ago now, actually.
I mean, Lance Leipold was the one.
Yeah.
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 Lance, Dino,
Kansas.
That's my thing for Lance Leipold is that one, he was incredibly dominant at the G3 level, but we know that for most P5 like or G or D, we'll say Division I athletic directors, that's almost seen as a like, okay, you play with the little kids, whatever. But then him getting the Buffalo job and being successful at Buffalo and Kansas just needing to swing at anything. And sort of like Kurt Signetti, Lance Leipold can say, I win, like Google me. Because he is a dude that wins lots of games. Mm-hmm. And in fun ways. He made Kansas fun again, which, holy shit, that feels like a wild thing. Does your shirt say Pox on it? PDX. Got it. Okay.
It's
sorry.
It's
the airport code for Portland.
Yeah, it's the Portland City jersey.
I do like the idea of Pox basketball jersey.
He's just out here wishing a pox on everybody's house.
No, not with all the stuff going on right now. We don't need
not with the measles in Texas, please. Let's not do this.
We're good. I got enough sickness in the house already.
The pox jersey.
So you're telling me he wears the pox jersey?
Yeah, it looks like something you would find in Osmosis Jones.
Please, man, what did I come into?
Please cut that, man.
Which part?
The part.
Well, no, fuck that noise. What's he gonna do? Come after me and give me measles?
I mean, probably.
Maybe.
God damn it.
He'll vomit up a brainworm on you.
Listener, I just need you to know that Commish is doing the like disappointed dad facepalm right now.
Do we want to talk about the Iditarod opening a little bit today? We're going to talk about it more on Tuesday when we have some extra folks on as well. But
it starts Monday, right?
Yeah, the official restart is on Monday, but they had the ceremonial restart in downtown Anchorage yesterday. Okay. We had one of our esteemed committee members there. I had hoped to go, but I traveled too much last year, and I'm traveling next week. And listener, I get tired of traveling sometimes. So
also, Alaska is very far, even when you live in Big Sky country.
I know. So, well, now that I have to take 2 planes instead of 1. So shortened route this year, like I said, it was about 1.5 miles. Just through downtown Anchorage. Usually they'd go 11 miles throughout the city, but they didn't want to track in 11 miles of snow.
Well, I saw the snow. It was very clearly like they had built up a lane of snow for the sleds to go on.
Yep. So, but it was still nice for everybody to get to see the dogs. For the Iditariders who donated stuff to be able to ride in the sleds and do the whole thing at Ferrandi. So again, it will have already happened by the time you hear this, listener. But official restart is Monday, March 3rd, 11 a.m. Alaska Standard Time in Fairbanks. And by the time you hear this, you'll have some updates on who is where.
Yeah. And remember, folks, we're cheering on Millie Porsild.
Mill. There's no IE. Yeah.
But
she's Danish.
Yeah.
She's Danish, so Millie.
Millie Porsild.
Yeah.
And no I misspelled that.
I did it too. It's fine.
And it's fine. We figured it out. We are supporting her at one of her checkpoints. We have bought her the support for there so that she's got food for herself and her dogs. It is right at the split of where the path starts going south for a bit before it cuts back north. So it is a big spot for her. We'll be cheering her on and her team on this whole time. We will give you updates as we go. Commish, what's happening in New Orleans?
Oh, I mean Mardi Gras. We talked about it.
No.
Oh,
Well,
hey,
Yeah.
So-
also,
well,
remember,
first off-
hydrate or dihydrate, listeners. Don't forget
not
to
right.
hydrate.
Mardi
the
Gras,
Get those
hold up.
electrolytes.
The
Mardi Gras
positive thing here
marathon.
is that you have, Commish, you have one of the most beautiful rugby shirts I've ever seen
Yeah, I'll be wearing that on Mardi Gras Day. Yes,
from Tulane.
I did get the Tulane rugby Mardi Gras shirt, which is
It is
phenomenal.
great.
Yes,
But I'm talking about the other university in New Orleans, the University of New Orleans.
Loyola, New Orleans.
No, the other university, the privateers.
Oh, okay, not Southern University of New Orleans either. Okay,
What the fuck are they doing?
man, I gotta write about this. Like I'm gonna have to write about this one.
You need to
this
call.
is-
You're gonna have to call some people, my friend.
No, I'm all right. I'm already kind of plugged in with that because honestly, if you don't know, I went to ULM. I did not graduate from ULM due to some family stuff, which I can elaborate further. But there was a pretty messy divorce between my father and my mom, and I moved back home. Had to transfer, and then I was like, okay, do I just stop going to school? And then I was like, no, I'll just go to UNO and finish at the University of New Orleans. So I finished there and I got my degree. Of course, Hurricane Katrina interrupted my transfer, which was very nice of Mother Nature. So that took a little bit longer to graduate from school due to Mother Nature. So at UNO is basically one of, you would say, your big city commuter school. You kind of consider that
Like a Georgia State?
You could kind of not that big. Say basically
It's private, right?
no, it's a public school.
Oh, is it really? I thought it was
yeah.
private.
No, so
I thought maybe just the privateers threw me off.
the privateers are not private. No, but basically the school itself is really good at shipbuilding. There's a couple of other different things that the school is known for. It's kind of like your fallback school in the local area. So
Okay.
if you can't make it to Tulane, which you're not that, it's tough to get into Tulane. Yeah. And you can't make it to Loyola, New Orleans, and you don't want to go to Delgado Community College, you have the option of the University of New Orleans Privateers. Now this university is basically on the lakefront, which the Privateers are on the lakefront. It's on Lake Pontchartrain. It's away from downtown. It is mostly in a residential area,
Okay.
which was very, very hard hit after Katrina. And they're kind of struggling with that area of the city. The lakefront area of the city is kind of not necessarily, it was totally wiped out in Katrina and it hasn't really been the same since. And then if people are moving back, which a lot of the people just decided to just demolish the home and never move back there, which either you got to build your house back up, raise it 6 feet, or, basically demolish it and move on. So the city in that area is kind of, it's not the same of what it used to be. And the school itself is struggle to try to get enrollment up along with the dwindling city population. It really doesn't get many folks from out of the city to come to UNO. And it's mostly a commuter school. So the school itself found itself mired in a scandal with gambling with its basketball team. So 4 of their star players, their highest scores, which they're not a great team. I think they only have 4 wins on the year.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah, they had to sit out a game, a loss against Incarnate Word due to an investigation in sports gambling. They now join Fresno State, North Carolina A&T, Mississippi Valley State, and Eastern Michigan, all linked to a federal investigation into a gambling ring earlier this month. It's not clear if UNO and Fresno State are a part of that ring or if it's different. Now, that's kind of something that's going on there, and you're okay, this school is Division I is kind of hanging in the balance for this school, because back in the 90s, Tim Floyd was the head coach, wound up going to be the Chicago Bulls head coach after Jordan left. There was some prominence. They've made the NCAA tourney. Their baseball team was really good. They've made the College World Series years back, but they can't, I guess, capture anything. And the next move kind of seems like something to me that's a bit of a desperation move, which
Well, so
It may or
you
may not
mean
work.
that after all this chaos,
Yes.
all of this,
Oh, it
who
was
did
the same
they
press
bring in?
conference, by the way.
Who did they bring in to right the ship?
I mean, again, if you want somebody New Orleans based, you got to go to Master P.
If you want
Because
the
the P in Master P stands for privateer. Master privateer and commander.
basketball
Courts are now battlefields.
Basketball courts are now battlefields. That is correct. Like, make them say, or you can say, make them say, UNO.
I was just gonna say
Yeah. That's right. Ain't no limit for UNO.
This is such a sure, man. Hey, you know what? Throw something at the wall, see if it sticks.
This is something because like what Master P has done, business sense wise, which if you don't necessarily know, but he's been able to turn things around with like $10,000 investments and get them to like multi-million-dollar companies, and hopefully he can promote UNO, but it's very difficult. Like UNO tried to get a football team, and the students just like, I think it was like the students, it was like 42% to 58% for like a football team, or it could have been worse than that. I don't know, but they tried to get an FCS football team to join the Southland because they are in the Southland Conference for all the sports, but just no football. They would have had to build a new stadium. They have the land for it. So like UNO has land. They have a huge arena, the Lakefront Arena, probably about 10,000 seat arena where they used to have like concerts and stuff in New Orleans, and they probably still do. And that's where I graduated high school, in that building too, which was crazy. But really, it's a desperation move. And Master P to do it. I mean, could they not be Division I in 3 years, like some folks have said? Yeah, they could not be. Could this help them survive? Maybe. I don't know. But in the words of Master P right now, taking over this job, he's trying to make $1 out of 15 cents.
I feel like Deion Sanders has unlocked celebrities as being a thing that college athletic programs are trying to go with now. Like college athletics, they're like, okay, like who's our celebrity? Can we get a guy? Can we get someone notable to make a splash? Right? Like we see, like FIU has Pitbull.
UNO has Master P. Okay.
Yeah, like I feel like we're seeing, right. I mean, I'm blanking on actual names, but I know there have been like Michael Vick, he's coaching an FCS school now.
Norfolk State.
Yeah, Norfolk State. Yeah.
Norfolk State. Yeah.
Do you count people like Will Ferrell and Matthew McConaughey in this?
Okay, but here's the thing: they are just like mascots. They don't have like an official.
Okay, gotcha.
Like they don't have management roles, right?
I mean,
like
yeah,
just,
like Deshaun Jackson at Delaware State too. Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
It's like there's a difference between a super fan and someone who is actually like financially invested in the success. And also those are big schools that can just kind of show off their celebrity fans. Like that's not something where they need
it's
them
not like
to play a big role.
Texas is fine without McConaughey,
Gotcha.
like they don't need him. It's nice to have him.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey is just doing the same thing that all of us were doing if we had as much money as he does.
Yeah.
Just show up to things and smile. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, even if you look at like our favorite college basketball team, like somewhat of a celebrity situation there. Like obviously he's the head coach and still doing his radio show, but like, there's just a certain, I don't know. We'll see if this works because I think
Pitt Girl, you know what this is? This is the trend, isn't it?
Well, because I feel like a lot of the Deion success is like having a son who is really good at football and also like one other player come with you who's really good at football, which I don't think Master P is going to be doing that for UNO. But I mean, what do you have to lose?
I think that's the point, right? Is that as management, as someone who can rah this thing and try to use whatever connections he has in the city, which are numerous. Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not? Because what else are you going to do?
Who knows? Maybe Master P will have the hookup for UNO.
I want to talk about some weird soccer stuff real fast. Just roll with me here.
Okay.
First off, FIFA Plus, which is free, will now stream domestic San Marinese football.
Yay!
Awesome.
So you can watch all your favorite San Marino-based teams play in all of, I think, 3 or 4 stadiums that they all share. And also this past week, thank you, SweeperPod, for pointing this out, the Vatican City Cup occurred.
Ooh.
They have a little league. It is not recognized by UEFA or anywhere else because the people that play for this aren't Vatican citizens, because being a Vatican citizen is a very difficult process. But this year, the Archives won, and they beat the Secco, which is a club for the shop staff that work at the Vatican.
A, this is amazing. B, what I'm hearing here is that when it comes time for us to elect a new pope, and I say this as though I am a member of the College of Cardinals. Yes. However, if you, a member of the College of Cardinals, are listening to this podcast, I need you to listen to me very closely.
Vape Pope, this is for you.
Yeah, Vape Pope, this really is for you. Vape Cardinal, this is for you. In the next conclave, I need you to put emphasis on electing a soccer fan to the papacy. And I'm going to need that Pope to make all of these guys playing for the archive and the shop staff and whatever Vatican citizens, so that you can enter UEFA and we can see all of this in all of the glory that we deserve to see it in, and we can root for things like the Vatican beating France or whatever, in the same way that we have rooted for San Marino to get its first international win. I mean, we need this. I need this. Please do this.
The Vatican beating France was basically the Huguenots, if I remember correctly.
I mean, we could probably have a whole conversation about like the Avignon papacy.
I was just going to say, there's something about the Avignon popes that we're going to get into here.
Fun enough, the stadium they use.
Did Conclave win Best Picture?
I think it's still going.
Do we know?
No, I don't know.
Going.
Let's find out.
I did watch Conclave, and it is very good.
I have not seen any of the movies this year.
I
watched Frozen.
I think Dune 2 should have won everything because it was Dunier than the first one.
Dune 2, the Dunest one.
Duner, because there's a third one coming. So I'm very excited about this. I love weird, tiny country soccer, and for a country that is the least country-like country in the world, Vatican City has its own little fun bit. The stadium they use is, of course, in Italy, nearby the Vatican City, but of course, Vatican itself does not have space for a soccer stadium or much of anything.
Just put some turf out on St. Peter's Square. It'll work. It's fine.
We did get some great schedule drops this week.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a lot of 8-bit ones. I saw some of those, hey, like, what are people on the street? What is this logo? Blah, blah, blah. But Tulane put out a menu. Commish, what did they do?
So Tulane did something, which is great. There's a video for this too, if you wanted to see it, because they actually made these sandwiches.
Yes, I was going to say, these don't look photoshopped.
Oh no, they actually made it. There's an actual video. If you can find it on their Instagram and their Twitter, it's there. So they made their schedule preview. Everybody on their schedule is a po' boy sandwich, which is great. Some of these are like, I will eat these, and some of these are like side swiped at their opponent, which is great. It's like the perfect combination of, this looks kind of delicious, I want to eat this, and then the other one's like, oh, they hate this team. Like,
well, Commish, what are some teams that they seem to very much hate?
Well, speaking of Mardi Gras, their opponent at South Alabama, the po' boy is basically, it's some bread with something called gutter beads on French bread. If you have any idea what gutter beads are, basically they are the beads that are up against the curb in the mysterious liquid on the side of the
jus.
of the street, the street Mardi Gras au jus, so to speak.
No.
Yeah,
That's actually, you know what? That's what this needed. This needed a dipping cup.
There's
of
the dipping
street
sauce.
jus.
Yes, some gutter sauce. But yes,
Well, this is Commish. They do this because Mobile is the the birthplace of Mardi Gras.
Ooh, man, this is again. It's
I'm wearing my
disputed.
Tulane hoodie too.
It's disputed. So like, there's.
Like they always say, it's an ongoing investigation.
It is, honestly. Basically,
You heard it here. Commish is actually Cam Newton.
It is really like the Mardi Gras history. Like there's like the first Mardi Gras was in Mobile in 1702. There was also like a Mardi Gras in 1699, which was like outside of before New Orleans was formed, and something called Point du Mardi Gras, which is like around 60 miles away from New Orleans. And then the Louisiana was the first, like Mobile was a part of Louisiana at the time that they made the holiday. And then on top of that, the first state to make it like an official holiday was Louisiana, and it was New Orleans in like 1872. Mobile took a break, and then, there's this stupid fight back and forth, which is fine.
Oh, hey, Pitt Girl, did you see that I got to teach people about Long, Connecticut this week?
Yeah.
I didn't, but I'm glad that you did that.
I got to teach them more about Long, Connecticut. I was very happy.
It is important that we know about Long, Connecticut, as it existing is an underpinning of the existence of big Pennsylvania.
The question that always comes up is, what is the Western Reserve of Case Western Reserve? And that Western Reserve is actually part of Connecticut.
It's the Long, Connecticut.
Yes. So
Commish,
yeah.
What other ones on here do they feel like they don't love those teams?
Yeah. I don't think they're a big fan of Tulsa.
Yeah, about that one. What is that?
So Tulsa is basically, it's called the tumbleweed po' boy. It is unfrosted mini wheats on French bread.
What did Tulsa do to deserve this?
They returned a pick six in OT for a touchdown one year, and then they did it again. Okay. And then there's old hostility from basketball when they were in the same conference. There's also Tulsa and again, these are two weather-based phenomenon.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
You got the green wave and you got the golden hurricane. So
it's a weather phenomenon.
That's right.
Also, I also want to say that back when Tulane and Tulsa were both very bad, they were the ones that people often confused for each other. Nowadays, Tulane's carved out their identity a little better. But for a long time, Tulsa and Tulane were like, those TU schools that are both like 3-win teams.
Yeah, they both start like TUL. Like, both of them start with the same letters, and they're right next to each other in alphabetical order. And two weather-based phenomenons in the same conference for a long time. Both like really good small private schools. So you have like that small hated private school energy between them both, which I like them both. I honestly, personally, I looked at going to Tulsa because they had the atmospheric science degree that I was looking at.
Army on here is an MRE,
but
ravioli MRE po' boy.
That's all right.
I know Tulane has some strong feelings about Army last year.
Honestly, too, after Katrina, like this was probably my favorite MRE. Like we didn't have power for a little bit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And like Rita knocked it out. And so I was eating MREs, which I gained a lot of weight because I didn't realize like MREs were like 6,000 calories and they're supposed to last you for a few days. I was eating a couple a day and I'm like, oh my God, why have I gained so much weight?
You're bulking.
I was bulking up on MREs.
Jesus.
Also, I love the MREs because they all come with the little tiny Tabasco. They all had like a little tiny Tabasco in them.
It helps. Little tiny Tabasco helps everything.
It does.
Commish, the other weird one on here is Memphis, which is just a pile of pennies.
Yeah. Who's Memphis's basketball head coach?
I don't know.
Penny Hardaway. There you go.
But the rest of the sandwiches on here actually sound pretty good. Even, yes. I will say, I even think the ECU sandwich, which I think is a joke, so it sounds pretty good. It's a seaweed salad po' boy. I like seaweed salad, so that to me is not offensive.
It feels like it's So like what you call a po' boy dressed, what you call it dressed is like it's mayo, lettuce, tomato, and pickles. But like the seaweed salad one was like it's already dressed with the seaweed salad. You don't need
Now,
anything else.
Commish, is everything a po' boy in New Orleans? Because some of these are just sandwiches.
Look, they put it on the po' boy bread. I'm gonna say yes because they put it on the po' boy bread.
Is banh mi po' boy?
I've never had it. I gotta get it. I've never had it. I can't rule it that way or not. But they do have a lot of Vietnamese folks in New Orleans, like a huge Vietnamese population in New Orleans.
Is po' boy bread just like a baguette?
So it's different. So
Okay,
like
because a banh mi technically is baguette.
It looks like it's softer than
yes.
baguette.
So like on
a
the
French
outside,
bread.
on the outside it's like crunch, and then on the inside it's just like super super soft.
Okay,
Like a specific
okay.
style of bread, where like when you take a bite, like the French bread doesn't break off at all.
You don't get the crumbles?
It stays together. It doesn't
Okay.
crumble. It stays together, which is it makes it phenomenal. Like it stays together on the sandwich. Like if you eat like a normal French baguette, like it's gonna be cracking and crumbly. But like the way they
Yes.
bake them in New Orleans, it's different. And I
Okay.
probably made everybody listening to the podcast hungry. And if you're on the parade route, go get a po' boy for breakfast. Do it. It's great.
So some
Get
of the other
your
ones on
calories
here
in.
that
Yeah,
I'm
you need 'em.
liking
Get a good
are
base.
the UTSA barbacoa po' boy.
I look, man. That looked good
Man,
to me.
I love
Uh,
barbacoa. Just I will say my favorite hangover food is barbacoa tacos.
Barbacoa and Big Red. That is like the San Antonio
Yeah,
hangover
God.
cure. Yes,
Fixes everything.
apparently it does.
The other one, the Cubano po' boy for FAU.
Uh-huh.
We'll argue about the use of those words
The Cubano.
because a Cubano bread is very different than a po'.
Yes, it is.
That kind of thing.
I would
And
still eat
then-
the crap out of it.
Oh no! Don't get
Oh,
me
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
I have no trouble with things being named weird things because they also have a Philly po' boy here, which sure, why not? Not with Whiz
would.
though. That
Look.
looks American.
That looks like cheddar to me. Actually, well,
Or is it
yeah, I
Cheese
don't know.
Whiz?
It could be Cheese Whiz.
It
I
could be
don't think-
Whiz.
Is it Whiz? Okay.
I don't know that it is. It's a little orange to
Yep.
be Whiz.
You got my Cheese Whiz,
It looks
boy?
like it has more consistency as well
Yeah,
Yeah.
than
But
I gotta see the video.
regardless, wood.
wood.
Would.
What if you mix together marshmallow fluff and cheese whiz?
Why the fuck would you say that?
But like at a
Then I
certain,
throw up.
at-
That's what
At a
happens.
certain temperature, they melt together, so you get like cheesy sweet fluff.
Why? Why?
And what? And then what am I eating it with?
A Philly cheesesteak.
No.
Absolutely not.
Okay,
want-
we
I
gotta
want Sweet
reset the
Whiz.
Canimals containment sign to 0 again.
I want a Philly cheesesteak
Ugh.
sweet whiz.
No,
I
No.
think this is how you get permanently banished from Philadelphia.
probably.
Like you show up at Pat's and this is not to Philadelphia
He
listeners.
shows
this
up
is
at
not
the
an endorsement
airport.
of Pat's or Gino's. I've never been to either of them, and I truly don't care. But like, you show up at Pat's or Gino's or anywhere that does a cheesesteak, and you ask for Sweet Whiz, and I think you immediately get punted across the Delaware into New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make a sweet whiz Philly cheesesteak.
I
like
feel like I
this.
could see Sweet Whiz. Like, what if it's like
Yeah,
a
Sweet Whiz.
cheesecake based like cheesesteak?
A Philly cheesecake.
Yeah.
Gonna make this a thing. I see. The best part is I said sweet whiz once. Arthur said it again, which makes it a thing now.
No.
This have a good shot to be the title.
You can find cheese Oreos at Asian grocery stores.
Okay.
All right.
Right, like the existence of fondue is there. It's just
Mhm.
not going to work on a cheesesteak.
That you know of yet.
No.
Okay.
Be bold.
I will bet you money on this. This does not work.
Okay, we'll find
some dreams should remain dreams, and unfortunately, I think this is. Or fortunately, I think this is one of them. Unfortunately for you, fortunately for the rest of society,
Something's got to stay in the drafts.
I dreamed a dream of steak sweet whiz.
I don't care. I'm like enticed now.
That's what she was saying.
Right. I hope you guys have two different bathrooms wherever you try this out. That's all I'm gonna say.
On this note, I do feel compelled to mention to you all that I took a brief detour into Five Below today.
I saw.
And yes, and I did buy a Jeep. I do have a Jeep in my house now. And listener, this is not a vehicle. I did not spend $5 on a vehicle. I spent $5 on a plush Peep that is made out of fabric that appears to be denim.
They were so cute.
Jeep.
At first, I was
wait,
like,
no,
Jeep,
no,
like
it's not a Jeep.
I was like, you were just talking about owning a Volkswagen.
I do own a Volkswagen. I bought the Jeep, in fact, because it matches my car.
It's a Canadian.
I will go get it.
Wait, is your Volkswagen also denim?
It is not, but it's blue. It's a nice. I will. Please hold. I will go get the Jeep for your appreciation.
Canadian tuxedo Peep.
I was going somewhere. Volkswagen. I was going somewhere with this though, and that is that. In addition to having the Jeep and many other Peeps, there are a lot of other Easter things out at Five Below right now, including pickle flavored cotton candy and also buttered popcorn flavored cotton candy. Yes,
Wood.
Arthur, you may have come up while we were discussing this because I knew you would say that.
I don't even like cotton candy, but like that just has me enticed.
Commish, how did ULM do their schedule announcement?
So ULM again, it kind of bagged a little bit on Mobile, which was nice. A lot of Mardi Gras animosity towards Mobile from Louisiana, in the schedule reveal. So, ULM released like a 7-minute video with
There's
6
the
of their
Jeep.
players.
Hello, Jeep. The little denim Peep.
They also had like a dark blue Jeep,
Oh.
but I thought the medium blue Jeep was the best choice.
It's best for everyday wear.
You got to get that acid washed Jeep.
the Jinko Jeeps.
Well, you wear
Like
it out.
the
with
legs,
your Jeeps.
the bunny ears are just way wide.
7 pockets. You can carry your Discman and all your CDs in it.
Done.
My cargo Jeep.
More storage than an actual Jeep.
What did they do, Commish?
So ULM released about a 7.5-minute video with about 6 players, and they made them eat food to guess who the opponents were. The first one was St. Francis, and they gave them like oatmeal, and I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh crap, St. Francis is in Loretto, Pennsylvania, the Quaker state, and so they went with that one. The next one they had, like, I think some sort of like blue Kool-Aid, which was for ODU, which was kind of a stretch a bit because they all thought it was Coastal Carolina, which kind of made sense. Then the next one, they're eating moon pies, and if you don't know, Mobile has a tradition that every single year around New Year's, they throw moon pies because that's where moon pies were manufactured in Mobile, Alabama. And nobody knew where the moon pie was from. And it just basically, one of the players uttered like my favorite lines from the video, the 7-minute video, just like, he basically goes, so you just wasting hard taxpayer money on moon pies. There's a ball drop, but you want to drop moon pies.
Respectfully, I think moon pies are a pretty good expenditure, like a solid tax-funded expenditure. Supporting local business.
And
local-ish.
Now I just realized that they're called moon pies because Mobile, no, that'd be Huntsville. Never mind. I don't know.
No, the moon pies are not from space, Jordan.
No, but like they were around space things, so you would call them space something. But no, Mobile and Huntsville are not the same city.
No.
I'm learning.
What a time
It's
to be
fun.
alive.
It's just like it became the staple throw in Mobile in the 60s, and now they throw like 500,000 moon pies essentially every year in Mobile.
According to Chattanooga Bakery, they came up with the idea for moon pies when a traveling salesman for the company asked a Kentucky coal miner what kind of snack he would like to eat. And the miner requested something with graham crackers and marshmallows. Popular folklore, repeated and encouraged by the Chattanooga Bakery itself, states the miner then asked that the snack be, quote, as big as the moon, which inspired the name moon pie.
Okay, that works.
It works.
Do you want is as big as the moon? Our store filled with wonderful things that you can buy. We are selling things like our Aaron Go Bird St. Patrick's Day shirt that you should order now if you want to get it by St. Patrick's Day. I can't guarantee it, but maybe you will.
Maybe.
We have our Linear Time is a Mistake mug. We have our...
You can get your Linear Time is Mistake mug, so when you fall back that morning, when you spring forward that morning, you could just be really upset, but drink some coffee in that mug because you're going to need it.
I can confirm to you, gentle listener, that the mug is very good. Get the big one.
I also put
15-ouncer.
One of my favorite stickers back in the store. It is the "You've Got a Friend in Big Pennsylvania" sticker.
Yes. Maybe we need to do more stickers with long versions of the states.
Big Connecticut.
Back in the day, I made Big Ohio. They had Pennsylvania back in the day. I remember that.
No. We leave Pennsylvania alone. We already got Big Pennsylvania, but you got to do other states, like Super Long Virginia or whatever, or Super Long North Carolina.
Joint
Dakota.
Yes, yeah.
That'll really to ruffle some feathers, stuff
that'll
like
endear us to people.
I mean, you can't really do the Louisiana Purchase, but you could, maybe do something off of that, or maybe Long Louisiana.
Zach Rao has already done all. He uses the Louisiana Purchase or podcast, or is it Zach or podcast that has the Louisiana Purchase hats?
Zach does that, yeah. He uses.
I do like the Louisiana Purchase merch that Zach makes because it's like, what if Louisiana was like the wide calf boots?
Yes. On top of your Jeep.
What if your boots went mid thigh?
But yeah.
We also have our Patreon, $5 a month. You get to chat with us in our Discord and get to listen to things like our special podcast series we're in the middle of called Drought.
Yeah.
Which is which stands for, let me get it here.
Oh.
Destitution reigns over underperforming, gloomy, heartbroken teams. And we just finished part 1 of our series with our friend Roger Sherman.
Yeah.
About the time before the Northwestern 34-game losing streak. Episode 2 we're recording this week will be about the streak itself.
Yes. The first portion of the streak.
Yes. We have, of course, our YouTube, our Instagram. Hey, our Instagram's kind of been blowing up lately, so just jump on there and share that stuff with other people too.
Yeah.
Because it's great when people who have no clue who we are wander into our threads.
I love that when we post the state outlines and it says, hey, these are NCAA football teams. And then in our profile, it says we are a college football account. And then people just come in there and just you forgot this school, you forgot that school.
If you guys
Wyoming.
If you listeners think that people don't read properly on Blue Sky or Twitter, you've never met the lack of reading I've seen on Instagram. I assume it's because it's a primarily visual medium.
Yeah, Instagram is specifically for people who can't read.
Because it's
social media for folks that can't read good.
I just copy paste my response.
I'd want to learn to do other things too.
I just copy paste my response of football schools only smiley emoji. And then I just copy paste that to everyone in one of the threads.
I like the Waffle House one.
Oh yeah.
And you put it I pinned the comment and it's hey,
about the Kennesaw one. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then I was just somebody jumped on there the other day and was just all caps, wrong. Georgia Tech's whatever is there's
on campus.
It's on campus. And I was I just responded back, wrong. As we said in the graphic. It's from the stadium.
It's fine. Comments juice the algorithm.
It's hilarious though.
It's
just
good.
like,
It's fine. Hey,
I've
it's not as good as hold up. I gotta find that YouTube quote real fast before we move on.
it was on like one of the shorts, but like the Instagram comments used to piss me off. Now I just I fight back, and I enjoy them now. So I've moved to the other side, thankfully, finally. They used to be like, oh, come on, read, dude. And then I was like, okay, they don't read. I finally got it.
It was on the short for
The Gumbo
helmet.
Yes.
Okay, I need to read. I'm going to read this out loud to y'all because
Yes.
this is one of the best comments we've ever had.
Good review for the podcast.
Hold up, is it gone? Did he pull it?
I found it. I have the screen cap.
Oh, what is
I have
it?
the
Go
screen
for it.
cap. So this was on our show from last week. Quote, "This is like listening to the kids with no friends talk with each other before class because they are simply desperate for any kind of human interaction, even that of the lowest, most brain-numbingly boring variety. Correct, my guy, you got us in one. I'm sorry you hate fun."
I loved it.
Sorry you don't like listening to the coolest kids at summer camp talk about fun stuff.
I'm sorry you didn't hang out in the library with the nerds before school.
Shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast. Think of the places we refuse to go. And as always, for the softest, comfiest, officially licensed collegiate apparel, Home Field Apparel. Lots of big drops this week on Friday, March 7th. The Home Field Hoops Society basketball boxes for 20 schools. We got some set from 95 UConn women's basketball merch, some 05 Illini men's basketball merch. Got 13 new bomber jackets.
Ooh.
15 new basketball schools.
Good Lord.
On 313, and then the Blue Bloods and Bracket Busters mystery box.
It's a mystery box.
You're just mad I cut you off the other day before you could get it.
It's okay. I'll do it again.
Weight loss. It needs to be fast and sustainable. Noom GLP-1 starts at just $149 and ships to your door in 7 days. Take it from Lauren, who lost 22 pounds on Noom.
If I come off of the GLP-1, it's not going to automatically make my weight yo-yo back.
$149 GLP-1s? Now that's Noom smart. Get started at Noom.com. Real Noom user compensated to provide their story. Individual results may vary. Not all customers will medically qualify for prescription medications. Compounded medications are not reviewed by the FDA for safety, efficacy, or quality.
Commish?
Yes.
You got to do some dramatic reading for us here.
Okay, so Hector made a post, and Hector is our the maker of the videos, which we
Our
love.
animator.
Hector. Our animator. He is the one that does the shorts, and he does the clips, which he just added some animation to Brigit. So if Brigit saw
and
her,
Arthur rotates.
Arthur has like a seesaw back and forth. So whenever he talks on that now, so he gets that here. So Hector just said, watching the Oscars, he says that he wants to win the EGOT, which is basically an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. And what we have to do here is make a dramatic reading here for him in this clip. So we have to do this, and I'm going to attempt to do this and win him the Oscar if I could possibly do it. I wrote a very quick script for something, and I hope I can get this down in a certain time frame to make it within a clip. If not, we'll go ahead and do this here. So I'm going to do a dramatic reading, and hopefully Hector can turn this into a clip for us. March has arrived. It is the dawn of a new day, and everyone stares down the Sun Belt Gauntlet. In Pensacola, Florida, the Gauntlet awaits all Sun Belt teams. However, the lowest seeded teams in the Sun Belt must slay 7 demons in 7 days to see their way to the ultimate madness of March. Will the ULM Warhawks, bruised and battered at 7-24, rise up and take on that challenge? First, they must conquer the Cajuns, then dethrone the Monarchs, batter the Bobcats, muzzle the Mountaineers, tame the Trojans, outduel the Dukes, and likely go for the jugular against the Jags to take the ultimate prize and get the better of the Gauntlet. Or they could make this video silly and lose on the first night.
Bravo.
So hopefully
That was beautiful.
that works out.
I think we'll be winning Best Picture for that one.
Best Picture?
Absolutely.
I think so. Totally.
The gauntlet we're talking about, of course, is because the Sun Belt, like the West Coast Conference, like the Ohio Valley Conference, I believe also,
Yes.
have gauntlet brackets for their men's basketball tournament, a thing that shouldn't exist. Because, and so the way it works is that basically if you're one of the lowest seeds, you have to win 5 or 6 games in a row
7.
to make it to the 7. Well, in this one, 7.
In this one, yes.
In the West Coast Conference, I think it's 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
6 on one side of the bracket, because it's an uneven bracket.
Yep.
And every time I post about the gauntlet, internet goes crazy. They love it, or they hate it.
They love it or hate it. And again, we talked about it on one podcast, but now it's real. The bottom 4 seeds in the Sun Belt Gauntlet, ULM, as I mentioned earlier, is the 14 seed. Coastal Carolina is the 13 seed. Southern Miss is the 12, and the Raging Cajuns on the 11. They all have the longest path to get through the gauntlet. The fun part about the Sun Belt tournament is there was a 4-way tie for first. So they had to do tiebreakers, but there was no coin flips involved.
Oh, no coin flip?
No coin flips. Unfortunately, none. And then there was a 4-way tie for 8th. So everybody was 8 and 10. And the Cajuns lost the 4-way tie. So they went from like 8th to 11th. And now they have to face the gauntlet. And then they have to play ULM in opening on Tuesday when the podcast comes out. On Mardi Gras Day in Pensacola, baby.
I'm just glad that we are playing with this bracket. Now we need to do some wild things, like some of the conferences reseed. I think America East reseeds.
Yeah, there's some that do that. And then some of the brackets are just so weird because they have such uneven amount of teams. And conference tournament started like tonight.
Did the ASUN start tonight?
Was the ASUN started tonight? Central Arkansas beat Stetson, so the Hatters are gone. And Austin P, the Governors, took out the Ospreys of North Florida.
Oh no, the Ospreys. We all have shirts for that.
We do have all the Ospreys disaster.
Why is Cam Skattesued getting Skattesued?
Cam Skattesued.
Are you guys familiar with the lawyer sharks on Microsoft Teams?
Yes.
No, what is that?
I will find screenshots and post them in the chat. But there are these little stickers on Microsoft Teams where you can customize the text, but they come with default text, and they're all sharks working in a law office. And the best one is a great white shark, just in a suit, slumped over. Comic Sans, it says, "We got sued." And I am picturing this shark as Cam Skattesued with his jersey on, saying, "I got Skattesued." That's all.
We have an emoji of one in the Discord of the little hammerhead shark.
Yes.
Commish, what happened here?
Okay, so this is my former auto adjuster life. I would handle stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, what reportedly occurred, I don't know all the details, I don't know all the information like this, but basically, according to the lawsuit, the golf cart accident occurred in July 31, 2023. Another player and the person that is suing, Cam Skattesued, were seated in the back of the golf cart to ferry players from the team's practice facility to the locker room. Per the suit, on or around the day before, the team had been instructed about the proper use of golf carts, explicitly told that the rear seat limit had a limit of 600 pounds or 2 people. The suit says that a third player, Cam Skattesued, jumped on the back of the golf cart and then jumped up and down on the rear bench of the golf cart as it traveled a considerable distance. Subsequently, the rear bench of the golf cart structurally failed, and Catagaris fell from the cart and sustained a serious bodily injury, which resulted in months of medical care.
No, you can't. Don't play around with mechanical equipment. Come on, kid.
So
you say that as though you have only been exclusively responsible in your use of golf carts.
Yes, Mr. Dartmouth man.
We didn't have a golf cart for a reason, because you can get a DUI on a golf cart.
Yeah, you couldn't be trusted with couches, let alone golf carts.
Mm-hmm.
So
Catagaris, a DUI on a fucking golf cart.
That doesn't happen. But yeah, if you go on a street, yeah, maybe. But like on the golf course, that's not going to happen. Catagaris is the one that is suing Cam Skattesued and the Arizona Board of Regents, which oversees Arizona State, on one negligence count each. The suit says Skattesued owed Catagaris a duty of care to act in a way that did not cause the golf cart to become structurally unstable. Apparently, he is claiming at least $300,000 per the complaint. While Skattesued has yet to respond in court, the Board of Regents filed an answer to the suit on February 11th. While it denies much of Catagaris' complaint, the board's answer admits it has reason to believe dependent Skattesued boarded the back of the golf cart while the other two players were sitting on the rear section, and admits the rear bench of the golf cart broke.
No shit.
Yes.
No shit, it broke.
Among the affirmative defenses listed in the board's answer were that Catagaris overtreated and or incurred unnecessary and or unreasonable expenses in his medical care, and the board has already paid for some of or all of the former player's treatment. So,
okay.
So my adjuster brain here is like firing on many different levels. And I don't know exactly what the injury was. If it was like a broken bone or something of that nature, I mean, I could see like approaching, what he's looking for, depending on the treatment or in the severity of the injury, and where the whatever bone was broken. It's weird. I have dollar values on bones in my head, but it's strange because I did this for a living.
My pinky worth much?
No.
Okay. Damn it.
I mean, if you want to know like what a valuable bone is,
what's a valuable bone?
The femur.
It's true.
Well, okay.
I broke my femur when I was 3, and I had so many medical bills that insurance had to pay for.
To snap
that is a load-bearing bone.
Yep. Snap your femur requires so much effort too.
I knew somebody in high school who did it because he accidentally ran into a dump truck towing a backhoe.
You know what's really not that valuable?
God.
You would think it'd be valuable? Ribs.
Yeah.
They're not valuable because you can't really do anything.
You got a whole bunch of them.
You can't. No, you can't really do anything with them. Like, I mean, they you can heal them. And that's it. Like, there's really no. It's
just
not
wrap you up. Yeah.
You can't really do anything with it, so it's not that valuable. Even though it's really painful, it's not as, I guess, valuable. Depending on the circumstance of the accident, there's many different factors that could be thrown in here. But this is kind of like the overtreatment thing in my head. I'm not putting this. This is just like alleged. These are just random thoughts. I am not trying to get folks, but the overtreatment is kind of like this man went to a chiropractor way too many times. Or this man went to a physical therapist and they were doing like billing things for like weird codes that would only need if you had like a stroke or something like that. Like they inflated the coding, which
my guy is getting massage therapy.
I mean, there's something called neuromuscular reeducation, which is depending on.
I know what it is, but holy shit, that sounds
that really sounds like a Clockwork Orange.
It does, but it's like it's a code that's worth a lot of money because like basically if you have to relearn to like use your muscle, depending on like the condition, it's most likely not associated with an auto accident, most likely with like some sort of brain damage or loss of motor skills, which probably doesn't happen in a rear end accident, but or something like this, hopefully. I don't know the details, but they will inflate. And again, I used to handle like injury claims from like the Bronx. So I am like, I mean, look, man,
you got a nose for it.
Look, there is some stuff that I've seen and I've seen they try to pull, and there's so it's just, when I saw those words in the article, I was like, oh.
So what I'm hearing here is that the lawyer sharks will in fact be getting involved. Probably. I do want to issue a correction. I was picturing the wrong shark in my mind when I talked about the We Got Sued shark.
Is it the hammerhead?
It is the hammerhead.
He's like
slumped over. He's slumped over. He's very sad. My favorite one in this particular sticker packet, I've put several of them in the Discord, is this one. He's looking. Look at him and his magnifying glass.
I like professional skepticism. I like him.
He's investigating.
here's something we can investigate, and we're going to learn a lot more about.
We're going to learn some more about it. I love the lawyer claim of serious injuries, and I'm like, you just throw that word around willy-nilly, injury attorneys. Serious injury. I mean, I got to know more. You got to give me some more details, because you say serious. I'm like I've seen people say serious injuries, and the auto accident was like $400 worth of damage. So,
well, if you want to find out some more details about things, can I offer you a new TV series?
Oh,
Hard Knocks could not find an NFL team this year, or chose not to pick an NFL team this year
because the Giants messed it up.
This feels like a choice versus a couldn't find.
Look, man, the Giants last year got lambasted by doing Hard Knocks because they let Saquon Barkley go, and they are still getting memed about this to this day,
as they should be.
Yes,
I thought the NFL could force a team to do Hard Knocks without their consent.
They can.
There was like a criteria for
this
it.
Feels like a choice.
You had to be like you can't. There was some criteria for it, and then I don't know what happened, but this could be a choice for them to do it.
Maybe every team went out of their way to meet the criteria to be excused from Hard Knocks.
That's all.
Like every single team was like, we got to fire our coach because like first-year coach can't do Hard Knocks.
I don't think I've even said it yet, but the choice they made was to cover the University of North Carolina with their coach, William Belichick.
I think you mean William Belichick. This is going to go well. This is definitely going to go well. There wasn't already a whole bunch of palace intrigue at UNC last year, even before Bill Belichick got there and before there were cameras in the locker room. This is fine.
If people are surprised sometimes what they see in Hard Knocks, I don't think they're quite ready for college football program on the skids. Because there is no, we got the draft coming. There is no, we can get someone in free agency.
Okay, so I figured this out, all right? For the Hard Knocks, it says, the NFL rules stipulate the league cannot force a team to be on the show if they have appeared on in the past 10 years, they have a first-year head coach, or they reach the playoffs in either of the two preceding seasons. Prior to the 2023 season, only 4 teams met none of these qualifications: the Bears, the Commanders, the Jets, and Saints. Now, the Jets have a new head coach. The Bears were on it last year. The Jets were on it in 2023. And the Commanders just made the playoffs. So basically, and then the Saints have a new head coach. So, and it seems like all these teams have been exhausted. There may have been somebody that qualified, and somebody will reply to the podcast and let us know. But now they're going to go with this here.
I don't know why this feels skeezier. Because, I mean, if the kids are getting paid, fuck it, right?
Right, but
I
the
hope
question
they are.
For me, number one in my mind is, do the kids get any cut of this?
I would hope so.
I really hope so. That's where I'm going to leave it.
I hope they're not
genuinely hope so.
I hope they're not getting paid in exposure.
Yeah. This will blow up your Instagram, dude.
Yeah. Like, no, I don't think so, man. I don't. That's one thing is like, I like when it's professional. I'm a little bit torn when it's going to be like a college team. That's a little bit different. And then again, like, you know, the professional athletes, they sign contracts. These folks that are playing for North Carolina, these kids that are playing for North Carolina, I mean, they got to be getting some sort of benefit from the NFL Network and not just like exposure. Like, hey, you get more Instagram or Twitter followers.
I hope it's cash.
I hope so.
It is their name, image, and likeness that will be in the show.
Yes.
So
maybe they negotiate with them for this here. I would hope, NFL.
I'm going to move one thing. I'm going to flip 2 things. First off, let's talk about Portland State.
Yeah.
Portland State does not play in Portland. They play starting mid 2010s. They moved 2017. They moved out of where the Portland Timbers play because they were going to switch to they were going to switch turf surfaces, which they never ended up doing.
Yeah.
But basically, Portland ended up playing out in the boonies relatively. And
I mean, I wouldn't call Hillsborough the boonies, but like it's out there, and
It's
especially
a schlep from where Portland State is.
Yeah, like distance wise, it's not terrible. It's like traffic wise on 26, it's terrible, and like it's not near the max line, so it's a pain in the ass to get to, especially if you're a student.
Yep.
So they are going to play one game this season back in Portland.
Yeah.
Against Montana, which should be a big game for them. And I'm just happy about this. I think that Portland State should do everything in their power to get back closer to campus, because being away definitely hurts a team like that in FCS.
Yeah, Portland State needs to get back in the city, like playing in Hillsborough Stadium. That, I mean, like when you're a small school like this, I mean, really, you got to have some sort of like connection to campus, and then them playing kind of far away from that campus already as a small school. I mean, Hillsborough only fits like 7,600, and it's not necessarily like the best stadium anyway.
No,
because it's like it's a multi-sport complex, which it's weird because you see one side, you're like, hey, there's a softball field on the other side of, which is. It sucks for Portland State, and they were supposed to have a deal with the Timbers, but the Timbers and the mighty MLS were like, no.
And it's just not like, it's not a good location in terms of like what all is around. Like I'm pretty sure like next door is like an Amazon center.
That would make sense. Yes. Last thing I want to talk about before we get into our game is RIP Breezewood, PA, or at least the concept of it. Pitt Girl, what is Breezewood?
So Breezewood is something that we've definitely talked about on this show before, but every show is someone's first. Breezewood lies at the intersection of Interstate 76, which in Pennsylvania is better known as the Pennsylvania Turnpike for most of its length, and Interstate 70 in southwestern, south central, western Pennsylvania in Bedford County. Breezewood is, because of a quirk of various PennDOT and USDOT laws, because the turnpike was already tolled when Interstate 70 was built, it was not permissible for PennDOT to directly interchange these two highways without offering the possibility of someone who is traveling on the section of I-70 that is not already tolled to continue on to their journey without being forced to get onto I-76, because they run together for a while. And so Breezewood is like a mile long, where if you are going from 76 to 70 or 70 to 76, you have to get onto US 30 and drive through a little tourist trap. And the world's largest Steelers store is there. I've been there. I got a heavily discounted Kenny Pickett jersey there after he got traded.
I'm sorry. You got to say that again. Heavily discounted Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett jersey.
That is true. I got a heavily discounted, now Super Bowl champion Steelers Kenny Pickett jersey there.
Sure. Yes.
After he got traded. Yeah. There is a Sheetz, there's a Starbucks. It's like all of the things that you would expect on the side of the road, but it's just like 1 mile of that, because everybody who's transferring between these two interstates has to drive through it. You've probably seen the famous picture of it. Somebody took it from up the hillside with a telephoto lens, and it's like every fast food restaurant sign all on top of each other. It doesn't actually look like that, but that picture is spiritually correct, especially because Breezewood is not an actual town. No one lives there. Breezewood is only the tourist trap, forced economic development, whatever, engendered by the fact that you could not directly interchange Interstate 70 and 76. And we have learned recently that Breezewood is being bypassed, and that they're letting the interstates kiss now. And so we will be losing this great American tradition.
They're going to make the tips touch.
Look, if they reconfigure it so it's still feasible to drive through Breezewood, like I'm gonna do it just for tradition, just to keep it going. Like you can put ramps that let me do a shorter route, I don't care. Like, I'm going all the way out to 30, getting back on.
And so like Breezewood is did we post like the infamous Breezewood picture
Yeah.
in the chat?
Oh, not in the chat, no.
Okay. Just, I mean, they're going to let them touch. It's, you know.
And you can see it. So I have a running bit with a friend of mine from college where every time they drive past Breezewood for any reason, they send me a voice memo where they just go, Breezewood. And I try to remember to do that back. You can see it if you are westbound on the turnpike, if it's not foggy as hell, which it often is. But if it isn't, you can see it from the turnpike because the turnpike's like way, way, way up the hill, and Breezewood's down in the valley at that point. And it's beautiful in a very like American capitalistic way because it really is just that strip and then absolutely fucking nothing.
I appreciate the grift. I'm sorry that it's going away.
I am sure. So Breezewood has gone kicking and screaming for its entire life.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it will find ways to continue to kick and scream. Do not worry.
Breezewood will change. Breezewood will adapt. Breezewood will find a way.
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
The turnpike.
And now, bum bum ba-dum.
Oh, wait,
bum,
hold on.
bum,
Let me see if I can
ba-dum.
do this here.
Wait, that's the end music though.
Is that the...
Is it? No, that's the opening music, isn't it?
Mm-mm.
Let me
No.
see here.
It's been a long time since I watched Price is Right. I won't lie to you.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's right.
Anyways, Commish, what do you have for us?
So I have something that I want to try here. It's just a little bit of a thing, which, you know, if you can hear the Price is Right music going in your head, let me see if I can play it real quick. I don't know if we'll get like a hit for it. So
I think we're good with the singing.
okay, yeah, we don't want to get hit with a because the Price is Right is kind of like, you know.
Are they notoriously litigious? I hope not.
It's just still going, you know.
Drew Carey needs more money to buy beers for Sounders fans.
So I prepared something here. I just want to let you know that I prepared something. I did a Price is Right game. It's called the SICKOS Price is Right. That's
gonna clear just fine. That's perfect.
Right.
They'll never sue us for that.
They'll never sue us.
They're never gonna know.
So the SICKOS Price is Right. This is basically what I've done is I've scoured eBay for some various memorabilia associated with college football. And everybody gets to guess what the price is of this item listed on eBay that I found. Okay. And will you win a prize or anything? No. But we're going to guess these things. And I'm going to describe them Price is Right style because I have a write-up for them. I'm going to show you the picture. There are going to be some weird items. There are going to be some funny items. There are going to be some strange items. Are the prices going to make any sense? No, because it's eBay. And that's what's going to make it great. So let's go ahead and get started with the SICKOS Price is Right. I am clicking here. The first item we have up for bids. It is a 1981 Virginia Tech football program. And the description of this, it says, relive the 1981 college football season with this official Virginia Tech football program. A stunning addition to any Hokies fans' collection, featuring vibrant covers and historical details. So I was like, what are the historical details? I'm like, so I looked it up. 1981, Virginia Tech went 7-4, and they did not go to a bowl game. So
we're not counting shipping in this.
Not counting shipping, just the price. This is the price only. We're not worried about shipping, as we're worried about the price being right, not the shipping cost here.
What's our order?
Whichever order you'd like to go through, you know.
So no $1 asshole bids, FYI.
No, if you want to do it, it's fine. You can do the $1 asshole bids. Let's just go ahead and the order I'm looking at. Jordan, you go first. I'll change it up every item.
$10.
Okay. Arthur, your bid.
I'm I'll go $7, one for each win that they had.
Okay. Pitt Girl, your bid.
$20.
Okay.
Ooh.
Brigit, your bid.
We're going big like my auntie on The Price is Right. $42.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. And the correct answer is $35.25.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Pitt Girl takes home the
Pitt Girl.
Virginia Tech.
Mark it
Hey,
down. If somebody wants to keep score, go ahead and do that. Pitt Girl with the first one here. Next item up for bids.
That's so much money for a
It is
Virginia Tech
for
program.
a Virginia Tech program, like of their whole season where they went 7-4 and they didn't go to a bowl game. All right, $35.25.
That's so
All
much.
right, our next item up for bid. It is a 6-pack of vintage 7-Up Notre Dame Fighting Irish bottles. And in the description, it says excellent in all caps. This is from the national championship winning season of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in 1973. I did want to disclose here, there is not any 7-Up left in the bottles.
Okay.
These are open bottles.
Knock off a couple bucks. Okay.
These are open bottles. These are open bottles here. 5 of the bottles displayed show the Notre Dame Fighting Irish on that. And then there's another one. There's just like a plain Notre Dame. And then on the back, it has the schedule that they went through when they won the national title game here. So starting with a bid, we're going to go opposite direction. We're going to start with Brigit.
$7.25.
Ooh, for 7-Up. Okay. Pitt Girl.
$50.
Okay. Arthur.
Well, I'm thinking since it's 7-Up, I'm thinking 7, but I might add a 0 to that. I'm going to say 7D.
7D. Okay. And Jordan.
I'm going to go $25.
Okay. And the winner is Jordan, $29.98.
Wait a second. These are actual physical bottles you get. And
Yes, not just the program. Like I said, none of this makes sense. Like these items, like the price is just, you have no idea. None of these. So Jordan won the first one. Pitt Girl won the second one, correct?
flip that.
Other way, but yes.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Jordan. Yeah. Pitt
I'm
Girl
keeping
won.
score.
All right. Perfect.
Thank you, Bridget.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I have 6 total, so we got 4 more to go. Next item up for bid.
I was literally just going to be like, fuck it. I can do it in my head. It's fine.
Next item up for bid. Here we go. This is an
Ooh.
antique Rose Bowl game college football championship souvenir 1960s belt buckle.
Ooh.
The description is it's a wonderful buckle ready for wear or display. It's fully functional, conditioned with without any sign
It's
of
a
age.
fucking belt. It's a belt buckle. How is it not functional?
It's fully functional. It works. It measures 2 inches in width, 1.5 in height. Max belt width is 1.53 inches. It is from the 1960s. The maker is Anchor Hallmark, and the material is brass-plated metal.
Oh, this is like, because you got to add on Rose Bowl fan tax.
Okay, so I'm going to start
And
this one here.
brass
Arthur,
tax.
first one with the bid.
Oh boy, this is tough because I feel like this should actually be worth something.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up all of the dimensions. So,
Okay.
but I'm going to multiply them by 100. So just move the decimal over. So I'm going to
Okay.
say whatever 205 plus 152 plus 153 is.
Okay.
Whatever that is, let me just do the math. So that's what, 5. Okay, that's a 1. Okay, so that's 301. Okay. I think that's what, $506, I think.
All right.
That
I
feels
don't have
close.
a calculator in front of me.
We'll just say your bid is $506. Pit Girl, go with yours.
$75.
All right. Jordan?
100 American dollars.
Okay. And Bridget?
$1.
Okay.
Oh, now I'm worried.
Bridget gets it with $58.
Oh, come on.
I knew it. I knew once this came up, I was like, this is historic. It's beautiful. It's going to be priced so low. I almost guessed 42 again, and then I was like, no. What if it's lower than that?
Come on, folks. It's a beautiful belt buckle.
It is a beautiful belt buckle. If anybody can like take the pictures, that's fine. We don't have to. Well, I'll share them after this in the chat, so it's fine. All right, that was item number 3.
I was like, you got to throw on because this Rose Bowl shit is super collectible, and
again,
part of me was like, you could look up and see who is in it. I was like, don't overthink it. Don't do that.
Overthink it. Yeah, don't overthink it. It's just the buckle. It's not the belt. So it's just the buckle. All right, next item.
Ooh,
this is fancy. This is fancy. It is a vintage 1995, which is weird to say vintage 1995, but that's fucking 30 years ago.
Yes,
right?
It is.
It is. That's right.
Hey, I wasn't even born yet.
That's right.
Oh my God.
This is a vintage Washington Huskies versus Iowa football Sun Bowl mug, and then it says rare here. The item description from the seller is quote unquote looks great. So I'm gonna describe this a little bit better. It kind of looks like a fancy like beer stein,
like a stein
like,
almost.
It's like a stein, but it's like a smaller stein. It kind of maybe looks about 20 ounces. And it has like the Sun Bowl 1995 logo with the University of Washington versus Iowa like helmets on this here in the Sun Bowl on the front of the mug, and it's got a nice little handle. Just for your 1995 folks, Iowa did win the Sun Bowl 38-18. Just for that here. So let's see here. Who hasn't gone first?
I have not.
All right, let's go. Pitt Girl. Oh God, I did it backwards. I messed it up. Oh my God, I ruined that one.
Listener, I think we all saw.
Okay,
so I'm just going to tell you.
Okay.
We all saw.
Wait, I have a guess.
Everybody saw.
You have a guess, Arthur? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Arthur, go ahead.
I'm going to say $1 in honor of how much older this, like how many years older this mug is than I am.
Damn it, I clicked it. Sorry.
Was anybody else not looking at the screen?
I unfortunately saw it as well.
I was not looking.
Okay.
Jordan, would you like to guess?
Go ahead.
I will take a guess. I'm gonna guess $25 on this one.
Okay.
Jordan and Arthur and gentle listener, Commish accidentally clicked the button, and so before I could guess, I saw this mug is going for a crisp $260 American dollars.
Jesus. I don't know what things are worth.
I hit the wrong tab. Yeah, this is what I'm great. It's eBay. There's no market. It's wild, wild west out there. You have no idea.
It's a really nice mug. Yeah.
It is a nice mug.
It's a nice mug. It's not a $260 nice mug.
I don't know if it made it more because he put the word rare there. Does that cost more when you put the word rare? I don't
By the way, that Sun Bowl logo was absolute fucking fire. And then you put that on things again.
There was a part of me that was like, this is a really nice mug. Depending on the price of this, I might have to hit eBay. I am not hitting eBay after this.
Not eBay for this one.
That's only like half a pair of pants.
And you can get 2 pairs of pants for this.
Look, I keep getting ads for those pants on Instagram.
It's like 60% of a pair of pants.
Yeah.
Gonna get
maybe I should buy this.
Next item, here we go.
Better use of your money, Arthur.
This is hilarious to me.
Really? Yeah.
All right. This item up for bids here. It is the 2010 Little Caesars Pizza Bowl Field Access Pass that has the Toledo Rockets versus the Florida International Panthers. FIU won the game in a thriller, 34-32.
If this is going for like $200, I'm gonna put every one of my fucking field passes up on eBay.
All right, I'm gonna let Pitt Girl go first because I clicked last time, so we'll let Pitt Girl go first.
Hands up this time. Hands up.
Yes, I'm up here.
$5.
Okay.
Oh, that was gonna be my guess because this credential's hot and it's ready.
Arthur, yeah, it's hot and ready. It's definitely Little Caesars Pizza Bowl. Arthur, what is your bid?
I mean, this is tough because like Adrian Wojnarowski is like selling his credentials, and
Yes.
those are actually like going for thousands of dollars.
I mean, this is a collector's item. It says
Yeah.
Ford Field. You got the Ford logo on it. You have Little Caesars Pizza Bowl. This is December 26, 2010.
I was gonna guess $5, but I'm gonna go higher than that just
Okay.
because I think that someone who's crazy enough to take the time to save a credential for 15 years to sell it online
Yeah.
has to be charging more. So I'm gonna say $6.
Okay. All right. Let's go with Brigit here. What do you got, Brigit? What is your bid?
I'm in the same spot because they could be wildly overcharging this,
Mm-hmm.
or they could just want to get it out of their house. And there is no in between. I'm going to go high on this. I'm going to go $12.
Okay.
$1. $1, Bob.
Oh, Jordan's going $1. Okay. Brigit wins this one. It's $24.99.
I'm gonna put.
Jesus Christ!
I'm putting every credential I've ever had on eBay.
I saved
Hey,
all of them. Like
anyone want Cala SMU? I got you, baby.
Jordan, I feel like your credentials are too recent, though. You have to let them age.
Yeah, you got to save them. You got to get those
Gotta
vintage
save 'em.
credentials.
Gotta save them.
They have to be vintage, right? Like
They
the
gotta
Little
be-
Caesars Pizza Bowl
That's
does
vintage.
not exist anymore.
That's right.
Oh, I gotta wait for things to not exist anymore. Got it.
That's correct. So, all right. Final thing. Hopefully, I don't click too much again. Here we go.
Oh my god!
Final
Oh my
item.
god!
Final items that we have for the Sickos Committee Price is Right show. This is kind of intense here.
Don't click it.
I'm not
I
clicking
see,
it.
I see you moving a mouse.
I'm not clicking
hands
it
up.
here. Hands are up.
Do Arrested Development, no touching.
No touching. All right, here we go. This is the Nebraska Huskers football 2009 Gator Bowl nesting dolls Russian 5-piece.
That's
Now,
so good.
this is the Huskers' victory over Clemson 26-21. The players in the nesting dolls include Joe Gans, Nate Swift, Marlon Lucky, Todd Peterson, and Roy Helu Jr. is the tiny one. The tiniest one that they have. So this is this is the final one we have. Final Price is Right. This is the Showcase Showdown. This is the one where we have to go. And let's see here.
I think we're back to our original order again.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Who Arthur has not gone first yet, right?
I went first at one point.
Yes, we're back to the original order.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with Jordan. And
I'm gonna say this looks like quality work.
yes.
I love it. This feels like great Nebraska kitsch. 09 was a bowl year, which would make them happy. So let's say this is gonna be $40.
$40. Okay. $40 for a 5-piece nesting doll set. All right, let's go, Arthur.
I mean, man, like this is the coolest looking thing that we've seen today.
Yeah.
I feel like what was the high price? Like 260 was like the
260?
highest.
Yeah.
For
highest
like
we've
mug,
seen.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. I'm going 520 because this is
500.
twice as cool as anything we've seen today.
Okay.
Pitt Girl.
$100.
Okay. All right.
Bridget.
Bridget. Last bid.
This could be wildly overpriced or this could be
Okay.
wildly underpriced.
Yes.
I'm going $74.
$74. Okay. The final price. Here we go. $99.99. Pitt Girl
God
is
damn
over
it!
by a cent. Bridget is our winner of Sickos Committee Price is Right. You got 3 correct, Bridget.
I did.
Congratulations.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, ba, ba, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
Join us next time for Sickos Committee Price is Right, and hopefully I don't click through one of them again.